going on, traders? It's Johnny here, Trader X. Thank you guys so much for tuning back into the channel. I hope you guys are all having a lovely Friday today. And I wanted to go ahead and provide you guys with an update in terms of how my day trading went. And so as you guys can see, all I traded today was the Nasdaq-based ETF, ticker symbol TQQQ. And I was able to make $103.96 on that. And in terms of my swing trading on Tesla, I still have those two open shares, and they were able to make me about $20 on the day today, right? And so what I really liked about today is what you'll notice is I only had 6 orders in total today, right? And so I started trading at 6:40 in the morning and was done by 6:52, right? So I was actually able to make this $104 in pretty much, 12 minutes, and it was all because of, I had a clear understanding of where the direction was headed, and I didn't overcomplicate it like I did yesterday, right? So let me go ahead and explain to you guys my thought process and let you guys know what was, going on in my head right when the market opened. So obviously yesterday we had a very, very big, red day on the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq dropped a ton, and you guys will see that from yesterday, right? Super bearish day all day, continuously made these lower highs and lower lows. And so if you guys saw my video from yesterday, what you guys would notice is if we take a look at a bigger time frame of the Nasdaq, what we'll see is that the Nasdaq has actually dipped like this before, right? So after it has a period, here, let me go ahead and zoom out so it makes it a little more clear for you guys. So after it has a big period of it being bearish for the, a set of a day or two, what ends up typically happening is there's a period of a few days, even up to a week, where it's just consolidating and trading sideways, right? So what you guys will notice is after this big dip here, right? When was this? On the 18th of last month, right? What you guys will see is there was one big dip, right, on the day, and then in terms of how the rest of the week played out, it was pretty much trading sideways and consolidating, right, before it eventually started to uptrend. And so as this thing uptrended, became overextended, right? There was a period of time where it consolidated, right? It just trades sideways. And so then it got rejected. We saw this big sell-off. And so what am I expecting now? Well, in terms of how I think the Nasdaq's going to be trading, well, given the fact that we already had this nice big sell-off, I think the next few days will just be pretty much just consolidation and trading sideways like we did here, right? Doesn't mean it has to happen. We could continue to sell off for all I know, right? But what I'm observing and letting you guys know is a pattern that I, see based off previous patterns, that this thing tends to consolidate for a period of a few days after following a big dip or a big push up, right? It'll consolidate. So as this thing continue to sell off, I feel like we're going to be headed more in the consolidation stages, right? Before we continue to actually uptrend, if we ever do, right? Doesn't mean we have to. And so if you take a look at the market on the 1 day, 1 minute, as you saw, what I noticed was this thing could be trading sideways today, and it actually did. So right around market open, what I noticed was the market was actually selling off pretty aggressively heading into the market. And when you see these big increases in volume, that's right on market open at 6:30, right? That's where we get these influx of buyers. And what typically ends up happening is we'll get a shoot, because there are so many buyers at the moment, we're gonna get, lots of movement. The market's usually a bit more volatile right at the beginning. And so what I saw going on was this thing, after selling off, right on market open, it starts to pick up, right? Starts to pick up, broke above the middle view off, right? Continue to ride that momentum up, and it pulled back to the EMA, right? So once I saw this pullback, that's when I personally thought it was a good idea to get into TQQQ, because of the fact that given the heavy momentum and the market just opening, I knew there could be a chance that it, corrects itself back up to the EMA line before it continues to uptrend. And so as this thing corrected itself back to the EMA line, I bought in with my initial shares of $2,500. And as this thing started to pick up, I averaged up with $7,500, right? So now I'm in fully. And as this thing picked up, I cut my trade, right? I cut majority of my shares right around here, and then I finished selling everything right around here, the top VWAP. And why did I sell there? Well, I knew it could be a possible resistance given the fact that it was getting rejected all pre-market by the top VWAP. So as this thing got rejected, right, I was able to sell out already. I was probably up around $72 at that point. And then as this thing pulled back, I decided to, get in with another $2,500 position in case it were to continue to ride the momentum up, right, and make this higher high. And so as it pulled back, I got in with 2,500. I didn't feel too comfortable averaging up on this one because of the fact that we are approaching, high resistance levels. So I decided to just keep the 2,500 shares open, or $2,500 worth of shares. And as this thing picked up, I ended up selling out at a new higher high, right? So that's what led to me being, having only these 6 trades. I bought in, I averaged up, I cut the shares I averaged up with, then I cut the remaining shares, right? Then I bought in with the $2,500 again, and then I sold out of it. So I kept it pretty simple today. I think I did a good job of making sure I knew direction, was in my favor, and that I knew what I was doing, right? I knew there was a possible resistance around this level, and I even told myself there's a chance this thing could be trading sideways, so I could get into an SQQQ position and try to ride this down. And then at these lower levels, I could have decided to get into TQQQ and try riding it up, right? So there's definitely more opportunity to make money. In terms of why I didn't continue trading, well, my first 2 trades, right, went beautifully according to plan. I was already up my 1% goal, right? I was up $103. And given the big red day I had yesterday, right, because I did a poor job of managing my risk yesterday, it made me not want to continue trading today, right? I didn't want to risk giving up the profit I just made pretty easily, and then, having my day go south when I just took a big hit yesterday. So there's definitely more money to be made. I definitely want to make you guys aware of that, but I just wanted to explain to you guys the reason why I decided to, cut it there, cut my trading there. And so in terms of my swing position on Tesla, like you guys know, the market is very oversold right now, right? So what we're pretty much seeing is the market within the past 20 years, this is the Nasdaq future. It tends to bounce at the SMA line, right? Doesn't mean it has to. This thing could break below and, continue to sell off. It doesn't have to follow through with the pattern, but, the idea behind how well it's respected the SMA line in the past, and the potential it has to offer is definitely attractive, right? And so I am not going to be adding to my Tesla position until this thing breaks above the EMA and then starts to use it as a support like it did here, right? So it broke above the EMA and started to use it as a support to make these higher highs and higher lows. Right now, we're doing the exact opposite. We're getting rejected by the EMA and forming these lower highs and lower lows, right? So I do not want to just be adding all my money into Tesla right now just in hopes that it recovers, right? Nothing has to happen. It can continue to sell off. So why not just be a bit more patient and wait for true confirmation of an uptrend before I decide to get, more aggressive with my Tesla position? That's pretty much the way I'm seeing it. I hope, my viewpoint provided value for you, and this breakdown, gave you guys something to learn off of today. But that's everything I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys all ended green today, and I know there is a bit of a longer weekend if you have work off that celebrates Juneteenth, the holiday, right? So I get Monday off. I'm pretty psyched for that. But I'll definitely be studying up on my trades to see what I could do better. But yeah, that's everything I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed this little breakdown. If you guys are new to the channel, we really do appreciate you guys liking and subscribing because it really helps us out. But other than that, my brother will be posting a recap on Monday, and we will see you guys then. Take care and have a good rest of your weekend.